I don't know. I thought about making this stream because I just felt bored, if anything. I know what some people are probably thinking. They're probably thinking, Ice, there's no need to make a stream if you're just absolutely bored. You should just do something else. Play a video game. I mean, like, I have been playing some video games lately. Well, mainly saying more for Wreckfest because, I don't know, that's the most interesting game I have well, I do have a few games that I find interesting so far. War Thunder, because it pisses me off so badly based on how I have to deal with the matchmaking. And some of you may say that I have a skill issue. Unfortunately, it's that and a team issue. It's like nearly every single time I get a team in this game, it's like I'm working alongside with battle droids. They don't know what the hell they're absolutely doing. Uh, there's Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. My friend Angel was. I keep mentioning Angel, and there's a reason why I'm mentioning him right now again. Angel had once introduced me into the Metal Gear Solid series, and one of his friends has introduced him to Metal Gear Solid after playing Smash Brothers. And he's been mentioning it to me a lot, so I was thinking, stealth-based game, he talks about Metal Gear Solid. Well, what if I don't want to go for that game? What if I wanted to go for something else? So I found out there was Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that I never really knew there was a PS2 port. I had to figure that out eventually until, well, let's just face it, until I went to a small little game store one day and they were selling a lot of PS2 and PS3 games as well as Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, Wii, a lot of that kind of stuff. Some of them modern, most of them old, kind of thing. And they have these games on sale. They have this game, a few discs of this game on sale. But it's not just that Splinter Cell that they had on sale. There was, let's see, I'm gonna try to find a few. A few of them I know that were that were for PS2 and they were on sale. I can't really say if this one has been in the store. I don't really remember seeing it. Um, there was Double Action, but on Steam it had gotten a lot of negative reviews, so I'm gonna go ahead and read down. A lot of people have been saying that there was a few things wrong with this game. One of them, of course, crashes, buggy, no controller support. I mean, there's no point in controller unless you want unless you want to play a game with controller. There's a difference between needing it and wanting it. That much I could say, though. Anyways, does not support even one 1080p without community widescreen patches. It's an old game, so can't really say that much about it. You can't expect a company to update a game that existed since what year was this game made or published? 2006. You can't really say that much to a company nowadays because they ain't working with updates. And as a matter of fact, they haven't made a Splinter Cell for a very long while. Mouse make cannot sit still. I almost thought my mouse broken when I flipped it upside down. It was drifting on its own. That's another problem people were facing. Some people. I mean, to be honest, before the 1080p, the rest of the other problems, I guess, make sense. Where the game crashes, it's buggy, There's no controller support, and the mouse drifting inside of this game. Still, the company's not working with this game product anymore. What other games are there? I know there's that one, this one, and I can't really recall if this one was ever at a store. It probably is on PS2. Hmm.
Spectrum Business is made to work.
Oh. Let's see. Tom Clancy's a Splinter Cell game. That's the very first one. PS2, GameCube, Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance is going to be a lot more different. Same goes for the mobile. Oh, they have it on PS3. That's unusual. I mean, I guess they were trying to make a game for the time being. Ubisoft. So it wasn't just released for the PS2. They wanted to try to make something for the PS3 as well. I mean, a lot of companies were trying to work up on the PS2 and the PS3 at the same time. Because the PS2... What was PS2 final game? Pro Evolution Soccer 2014. So this console has gone up. It was released in 2000. Jeez, it's been out for 14. They've been making games for this console for 14 years. It even surprises me. I was told about it once before, but I didn't remember anymore. Like, I forgot about it at one point. You could say that it came out. When I heard about that kind of thing, you could say that it went from one ear and then the words came out from the other ear. And it doesn't really matter which ear it is. Why am I even saying that? I got a few games that I do want to play for the time being. I don't want to play Grand Theft Auto 4 right now, that much I'll say. Even if I have been playing Grand Theft Auto 4, I've been focusing as of late on these assassination missions. Now, they're not really special, I don't think they pertain to the main story. Besides the fact that you're given contracts and you're supposed to kill your target, it doesn't really matter how you do it, just as long as you can get it done. And the fact is that there could be some bonuses. I did stumble a bonus where you get a duffel bag and you get like what, 100,000? Well, actually, 10,000 bucks from the game. Sometimes sometimes Fixer would even drop the stuff for you, whatever you need for equipment. I don't really want to play this game. I mean, I feel like I should, but I mean, I'm gonna make a video about it sooner or later. The only thing is that I need a microphone. Hello. Because my microphone, the JLab, apparently for some reason is not working for me now at times. I tried connecting it to a few C-type ports, and they really they aren't doing me any favors of trying to get it to work. Uh, oh, I forgot I have this one installed. Uh, hmm. Uh, what game? What game? What game? I guess for the sake of it, just play Need for Speed 2015. I mean, realistically, I hate this game all too badly, but I got nothing else. I don't want to play, as I said, GTA 5. I mean, GTA 4 just yet. I could have gone to CarX Drift Online. Hmm. Uh, the pain of having to deal with EA Launcher. Just playing a game that's made by EA, published to Steam, and yet the motherfuckers say that we need the EA launcher to launch this game. Like, what the hell? That's dumb. Realistically, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen to exist. And that's not even my problem for this game. My one problem, which will be, which will never change my mind, not in a million years, is the requirement of playing online. That's my problem. That's the one problem I have about this game. The one problem that I wished would have been an ultimate sales flop and the fact and should make Ghost Games shut down the very moment. Like right there, before Payback was ever made. Because they practically proved uh, to plenty of people once before that the games they made out suck. I don't even think it's appearing on stream right now. If it actually it is. I'm just checking my phone. But yeah, number one problem, online requirement. That's all I'm just gonna have to say about this game. It's not like we're playing Need for Speed World. I mean, like, for the time being, Need for Speed World has gotten updates. They actually, the studios behind that game went through on multiple updates as the years gone by for this game. The lifespan of Need for Speed World. I may have not played it before, but even I know about it because there's a lot of cars, and I'm pretty certain that the car list from its base didn't. I mean, like, it wasn't a lot, but it probably was sufficient at some point. And the fact that the studio kept updating that game until eventually EA decided to close down the doors for that company, or the studios that were working on that game. And and the painful fact about playing this game is that I can't even play with the controller. So, if, in all honesty, just take it with a grain of salt, I'm just going to be playing with the keyboard. It's a painful thing, as far as I know. A lot of people knew about this once before, and it's apparently EA doesn't know. Like, Ghost Games don't even know how to make the difference between controller to steering support. Steering wheel. I still need to know how am I going to download the game? I still don't know yet. I don't even know why I decided to install this game, let alone why I decided to buy it. But there was a special sale at least a few days ago, so I guess I should be lucky for that. Despite the fact that this is one of the very most, this is the one game I hate the most. And Payback's a lot more worse than this game. I mean, it could be plentiful more worse. Surely enough, that game has a lot of other problems that people could be mad about, but I hate this game more, in my opinion. I just think, I just don't know why people think that this is like the best Need for Speed game we had as of recently. I'm referring to Need for Speed World. Oh, okay. Yeah, trying to deal with that game, it's kind of painful just to try to find it. Also, the fact that you need to find like some sort of offline patch. But once you get it installed, it's just there. You have it. But yeah, I do have to agree. Trying to find Need for Speed World and trying to download it is just really hard to do. Well, on my part, that's like hard. It just depends on what site you use in the web, in the internet, just to try to get the game. Holy fuck, this game's not meant to be streamed. Yeah, this is gonna be the main car for the video. The mainline car that's gonna be controversial to my channel in the future after the video is made. That much I'll say, because I'm gonna be talking about the game. I'm gonna be talking about its problems. What is this? 20 or 10 FPS? This is. I do not know how many frames per second it is. I presume it's supposed to be like. I don't know. Hold on. Look at that. Having to press the backspace just. It doesn't even tell me. Great. That's awesome. All I know is that it's laggy as shit, even when I'm streaming. See, I can't even stream this game, and they say this game is good enough to play, let alone... This game is good to play, I mean... Fuck, let me think again. This game is good to stream, let alone play, for the time being. Yeah, right, it's a sad joke of being played in the first place. So saying that it's good enough to stream is highly irrelevant to the case. Look at this, even it is gonna crash on me. It just freezes, the game just freezes. It looks like it's gonna crash on me because I'm playing on a low-end PC and I shouldn't even be doing that. But I mean, I'm not left with very much of a choice. Considering the fact that, I'm not really big on having that much money right now just to go get a new PC. I am broke. I'm a broke boy. And even if I do make money out of YouTube, it's just gonna be a donation. But special about the donation box, aside just giving you the free will, giving you a choice. Either you want to donate to the channel, or you don't want to donate. I don't really care what you do. On stream is lacking like a typical school PC. To me, it pretty much is either it's lagging from the standard base PC on my the way I see it, or you're like if you stream through a Chromebook. Oh, what the fuck is that steering wheel? I think it's the fact that I'm playing with a bunch of other online players. It's probably why. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this. I can play alone inside of this game, but I clearly as hell cannot play offline. Well, all I can say is that no matter what other people say, this game is just a disappointment. It always has been, it always will be. I don't give a shit what Black Panther says. He could cry like a little bitch all he likes. But when my video, when my video exists, it's just gonna exist, and people are gonna have their opinions. And my best guess is that people are gonna have a negative impression over the video, and that's what I'm probably most likely expecting. Is that after the video is made, after I upload it and all that kind of stuff, and people are gonna give the video a bad impression, and like there are gonna be hate comments. There's gonna be comments. There's gonna be like well, I'd say more hate comments if anything. But I don't know. If there's criticisms, I guess yeah, that could help me on on my channel throughout time. But hate comments and dislikes, that's what I'm most likely going to be expecting through this video. I'm expecting at least more dislikes on it than likes, as far as I could say. Just because I talk about the game and the problems about it, plus considering the fact as to stating out an opinion as to what I think about this game. For the most part, I think the hate comments would go more to the opinion. I don't really know. If it does, I'm not even going to be surprised. Bro, can you imagine anyone who's ever enjoyed playing a game this? I'm sure I would. Yeah, I wouldn't even enjoy it either, Angel. If I had to say who, like, I would have to ask everyone who ever whoever does YouTube, has they ever enjoyed the game? And one of them's going to be Black Panther, probably, because, I don't know, he could appear at any random point. I mean, this game did surprise me to how it looks, but gameplay is just throughout the window. To me, I don't even care as to how it looks. I could give less of an absolute shit as to how it looks, because I care more about the gameplay. Here's my side of things. I mean, yeah, sure. This style, how it looks inside of this game it looks nice. It looks like the actual real world at nighttime, real time. But I don't care as to what it looks like. I care as to how the game plays out, like how the physics play out, how the mechanics play out, all that kind of good stuff. And trying it out at one point, this was a long time ago. I lived in a trailer park before I started YouTube. I played this game on my brother's PS4, and I was playing through it, and I was just like, I guess I was enjoying it. I don't even know why I enjoyed it from there and then. But eventually learning at one point about having to require an internet connection just to play this game is what ultimately pisses me the fuck off. Because I'm one of the people who's expecting to play a game that doesn't need an internet connection. A game like this. But no, apparently Ghost Games and EA think that it's a good idea to put on an internet connection requirement just to play this game. Like, what kind of twisted human being would think that's a good idea? It's not like they're not trying to redo Need for Speed the world, if anything. If they did, that would be a different story. Okay, whatever. But they're not. In fact, this game only got a few updates that later on, Ghost Games decided to say, yeah, we're pulling the plug on this game, and we're going to make Need for Speed Payback. Or what people say Need for Speed 2017 or 2018. Man, I should have just played on Underground 2 instead. Actually, there is room to actually live stream that game. Should I just ditch this one and play that instead? Because I don't really want to play this. I am going to have to suffer while making the video, but that's a different story. But still, should I play that game? I would seek more enjoyment from playing Underground 2, if anything. Funny because you are actually playing it. Yes, because I'm playing it. And I'm actually disappointed in myself for ever playing this game. For all that I know, or for all that you could possibly know, is that I'm probably collecting footage for it. But actually, not in the live stream, not in the live stream sense, but moreover inside of, well, when I'm having the chance to, when I'm just like off from work and I'm just like having my free time, go around, make videos, or just come up with some other video. I did that once before with Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, and I could do that here. It was meant to have a title. Yeah, but I'm assuming they didn't have time to make the title. If they didn't have time to make the title, then that probably explains why it was just named 2015, and that's just about it. Underground 3. No, fuck! That fucking is bullshit. Okay, that came out weird. But that is so fucking bullshit. Not even I would say that this is Need for Speed Underground 3. I called it this is a disgrace. Whoever thinks that, I would just say that is ultimately disgraceful. I think that's the dumbest thing to ever be the case. Even I would think, if Black Panther were to say that this would be Underground 3, if like if he agreed with Ghost Games, I would say you're just a delusional fucking moron. That's all I would say to him, and that's nothing more, nothing less. Because this is not, I can't even enjoy this as well as Underground 2 or the first Underground. How are you going to expect me to call this Underground 3? Asides the fact that it has car customization and it lives on the Tuner Saga, that's besides the point. I can't enjoy a game like this unlike the other two games that existed a long time ago. I'm serious, bro, I saw it a long time ago. Oh, fuck. I need to see that video, actually. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quit that game. I'm gonna go ahead and quit the game real quick. Let's see the video for myself. Is it on YouTube or is it like on some sort of other platform? I need to know, because if I need to be prepared as to what I'm dealing with. I think it was on Black Panther. Oh my fucking god, I should have known it was gonna be from him. Because all he ever fucking bitches about is that he wants Underground to come back. He wants the Tuner Saga to come back. Who fucking cares? You're playing Need for Speed. It doesn't have to come back. The only time it ever exists and never was good was on Black Box's part. There should be no reason that this should come back. But yet Black Panther cries like a little fucking bitch about it. Jesus, is so annoying. And yet people who watch his video agrees with his subpar narrow point of view of his own on his own fucking brain. Plus the fact that he's bringing some of this stuff from the Need for Speed community. That much I could probably even say. The Need for Speed 2 2012 video beta was good. Well, I wouldn't say the 2012 was actually the 2012 I was alright on that, but the beta part I really haven't gotten to go through, especially considering the fact that I never really even played that game. And some people were recommending me to go get a PS3. I think it was like one of those modified PS3s to try the game out for myself, or something like that, or try to emulate it in some way. I don't really know. All I know is that at most cases, a lot of people were commenting about the beta part, and I do have to agree. It was kind of shitty because I don't really know too much details as to the beta version. All I know is that there was going to be there was planning to be a story and whatever else that they were planning for that 2012 beta. But I can't say that it was. But I can't say everything was true because in realistic terms, everything I can say, everything I say inside of that video can be proven wrong. Oh, fuck. I don't even know which one I have to pick. Because there's a lot of underground, there's like a few Underground 3 videos. I need to find one that's the most viewed. This one's just fake advertisements, which doesn't really give me very much room to say. Or something that is just like old. Something that pertains to. I don't know. What do you guys think? Which one should I pick? Because there's a few choices around here, and I can't be certain which one I need to be choosing. The other one's Need for Speed No Limits, which I don't even understand who would give an absolute fuck about that game. Actually, as a matter of fact, while you choose what video I should watch, I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. Alright, I got my Angry Orchards, and it's time to suffer through each and every single video made by Black Panther.
Win 30% more games with the highest win rate loadouts, and by
If
tracking your
advertisements
performance
were
with
not
Blitz
so
app profiles.
annoying,
Download
to
the
deal
Blitz app
with.
now for
Now buy those characters. Need for Speed Underground 3 will probably never actually happen.
It shouldn't even happen. Well, actually, if you're referring to 2015, it should never happen in the first place.
If you've been around for bloody ages, you'll know this article that pretty much states that Marcus Nielsen said if Underground 3 was gonna sell 15 million units, then they would make that game. For those that don't know, Underground 1 through Most Wanted, pretty much all of them.
Yeah, they're gonna make that game because you cry you cry for the shit. Everyone cries for this shit. When this tuner saga. Let's see. My okay, yeah, it's on. Sorry about that. Anyways, everyone that is in the Need for Speed community cries about this stupid bullshit about how they want the Tuner Saga to come back, as well as I don't know stories. And it's a shame we're not getting iconic characters back like Razor or even Sergeant Cross or Darius because I don't know they probably decided they don't want to, or the fact that EA doesn't want to do this. I just got off breakfast. What I missed? Not a lot. There's not a lot that you've missed so far. Besides the fact that I was playing a little bit of Need for Speed 2015 earlier. God to heavens, it's lagging as shit. Anyways, when it comes to the Tuner Saga, that should have died right there in Black Box's side of the Need for Speed franchise. Instead of fucking crying about it coming back. That's all I have to say about that part.
Them sold 15 million or above, which is why they said they'd make Underground 3 if they knew it was going to sell that much. So that could be taken in multiple ways. And honestly, at the time I took it saying that, oh, they could make that, but they're unsure it would sell that, something like that. But at the same time, even if it did sell that amount, would they have got it right? And would people be happy about it? Well,
no, I wouldn't, because this is made by a different studio.
Look into it. What defines Underground 3? Now that's obviously different for different people. Other people have their own kind of build-up of what Underground 3 should be in their heads. Mine is probably similar and tied into what most people's would probably be. And I'm gonna...
In my head, Underground 3 shouldn't even exist. Even the fact that you're saying... Even the fact that if it's supposed to be Need for Speed 2015, I still think it shouldn't exist regardless. And there's a lot of other people that say that this doesn't need to be the case. Need for Speed is Need for Speed. It doesn't matter which racing it is. It doesn't matter if it's tuner. It doesn't matter if it's freeway. It doesn't matter if it's Le Mans. Hell, it could even be boat racing for all that we know. Need for Speed is any kind of racing that goes. It doesn't matter which one it is. As long as you're playing the game, you're enjoying that game. Dude always had terrible hair, LMAO. I don't know. The hair is not what bothers me. It's the fact that what he thinks that bothers me. Of course, Chip 300RR had this ongoing thing in Twitter, or what people call X nowadays, before he decided to go offline for a very long while. And this was around the time when it came to Need for Speed Heat, I think, where Ghost Games shut down or downgraded or whatever the fuck happened to Ghost Games. Pray to God, I wish they'd shut down like a long time ago. But after the downgrade, he responded to Black Panther about this and was calling bullshit on what Black Panther said. But the only thing that Black Panther could say at the time was, "No, you just don't get it." Like, what do we not get? Like, can he specify what we don't get?
Very slyly read over here. It is street racing, nighttime, illegal, customization, story, and progression.
They should have stayed back there. They should have just stayed back at what? The last game was Undercover, maybe World? And they should have just remained there instead of coming back. Right, to think that he'd hold the same vision of his ideal Need for Speed game to this day. Franchise is better off dead, like I've said. Yeah, either that or maybe even just not in the Tuner Saga. I don't care how Need for Speed goes, whether it's just not being developed anymore, or whether the fact that it's just taken to a different scenario that isn't just Tuner Saga, and that's just about it. Because eventually, I had to figure out at one point as to Need for Speed's history, and it didn't start off as the Tuner Saga. Despite the fact that it was born in 2001, Underground 1 was the very first Need for Speed game I played. But then come a few years later, as of recent times, I watched a video on the history of Need for Speed, and I saw that Need for Speed wasn't just Tuner Saga. It was more than that. It was freeway racing. And then eventually it was Need for Speed Shift was driving into the Le Mans style of racing. Realistically, it doesn't matter which racing it is. It's just a racing game. That much to say. There's nothing more, there's nothing less that comes from Need for Speed. My personal take, I would be happy with Tuner Saga. I'd be annoyed. I'd be better off if it wasn't made by Ghost Games, if anything.
Those few things.
Despite the fact that I think that Heat is a decent game, Ghost Games is still fucking shit at making games. That's all I will say.
Me pretty much make it a Underground 3 game. The game that I was requesting. I was screaming more than bloody anyone. I want Underground 3. And do I think we have it? Well,
you should cry in the fucking corner instead of calling out for an Underground 3. That's much more better. Because regardless of what you think, you're not getting Underground 3 no matter what. It ain't ever going to happen. And it's not like it's going to do any better than what Underground 2 or 1 had delivered in the first place. That much I'll have to say.
Just keep watching the bloody video. I think most of this will hold true to most people, and I will have the least objections. I know some people will have more specific things like, oh, there needs to be Rachel. Now, by those characteristics, I believe there's actually a few games that could be taken as Underground 3, not by name, but by just going through those characteristics. Need for Speed Carbon. To most people, that answer may sound a little bit stupid, but you've got to consider it has quite a lot of elements linked into the Underground games. Now, yes, it is actually a sequel of Most Wanted, and for God's sake, when I say Most Wanted 2, it was the Criterion game. It wasn't actually a sequel. The one they released was, let's not get into that, but basically, okay, it was going to be a sequel of a sequel. I give up. Street racing, nighttime, illegal, customization, story and progression. It has all of those things. Underground 3 was also majorly linked, in my opinion, because it was...
No one fucking asked for your opinion on this.
Night only. Yes.
Even if you were to state it out, nobody in general would ever ask for an opinion that is on your narrow point of view as to how Need for Speed once was. That being said, when it's developed by Black Box and you're trying to deliver it to now.
Honestly, let's look at the basics of it. Underground, what really stands out? We know that the first one didn't have open world, and yes, that's obviously a category as well. Need for Speed should be open, but that's just kind of, it's what Need for Speed is now, right? I don't need to bloody list it. Let's face it, even if we got a proper Underground 3, it wouldn't continue the story. It would just be like Underground 2 was not made to be a proper story that was going to continue. The Underground 1 story, Underground 2, it was just a... The reason they did it is to make you go through the progression and actually have something to kind of work your way through. That's what the story was, and that's what the story is. It makes you progress. That's the idea. But other than the story...
And those progressions were more better off at those two games. It didn't need to continue as of recent. If you're going to think otherwise that it should, you're just realistically delusional. Even to the sense that you're going to say this from your narrow point of view. And that's not going to say very much. Because realistically, I could say that, what? Midnight Club is about progression. I mean, like, that's been for every single Midnight Club game. And as for the Driver series, the progression from there is a lot more different. Because when it comes to the mainline games, you're just basically like doing crime or stuff like that. In the Driver Parallel Lines, I learned there's a distinctive difference between that and San Francisco, where inside of Parallel Lines, you are basically just a person who's committing crime, driving around like a jackass, of course, and you're doing missions just to earn money. But then eventually the story progresses on to where, of course, this doesn't bring in as to what I would say for progression, but still, you would progress through eventually not to make money, but eventually later on the progression was to get revenge on those who betrayed him. And as for San Francisco's is progression. There's actually two different kinds of progressions. That much I could say, because I did play the Wii version, and then I played the PC version, and I can't really play the PC version anymore because there's no easy way to get it. And plus the fact that my old Steam was taken, so yeah. The progression on the Wii is basically just taking down one person who's just causing a lot of stuff. And from there, you're trying to take him down, but with two characters. There may be some chance you could play as that certain antagonist. Kane, if I'm not mistaken. The two protagonists are John Tanner, as you may remember from Driver 3, some of you, and Tobias Jones. And then the main antagonist is Solomon Kane inside of the Wii version, and you're trying to take him down. But inside the PC, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, the progression may remain the same. You're playing as some sort of undercover cop, but the story is different. It doesn't matter which progression you go by, as long as it exists. Any form of progression that exists within the game, that's all that matters. And who knows, the next Need for Speed that was supposed to come out of Rivals could have had some interesting progression too, and it didn't have to pertain to Underground. Bro won Need for Speed Underground for himself. For himself, he could always develop his own game as a last resort. And I have to agree with 7-6 with this comment. Is the fact that if you wanted Underground 3 so badly, you could have developed it yourself. But instead, you're sitting around crying like a little bitch in regards to, I don't know, wanting the studio to do your own shit. In regards to your suggestions and the community suggestions. For all I fucking care, you could have gone in and worked at EA as of recent.
Story continuing, it has every other element. It's a black box game. So if you
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business.
Advertisement, sorry.
Like that ready
want Underground 3, go babe, play bloody Carbon. Need for Speed 2015. This one is a little bit more of a stretch away. So if you thought Carbon was dumb, you'd think this one's even more dumb. It is not.
It is dumb. I'm playing it as of recent. I'm making a video of it as of recent, too.
Not a direct sequel. It is not a black box game. It's a game by Ghost. It's not made by the same bloody developer. They've had 2 or 3 different developers since then. What at its heart, 2015.
Since you like to state out opinions, here's my general opinion as to 2015 in the first place. That should have been the main game that got Ghost Game. That should have, like 2015 should have made Ghost Games shut down right there. Instead of developing Payback, instead of developing Heat. That's what I think.
Is an Underground game. It attempts, of all the Ghost games and all the Criterion games combined, if you combined all of those games, the games of the past decade, this game ties in as being the proper sequel. I keep saying sequel.
No, it does not! I'm playing... I can't even skip the cutscenes, unlike Underground 2. I mean, like, well, yeah, Underground's 1 and 2. I can skip the cutscenes, but I can't do that inside of 2015. And the fact that I'm dealing with a bunch of fucking phone calls is like playing Midnight Club Los Angeles or 2 or something like that. Except the fact that they're actually skippable phone calls inside of Need for Speed 2015. But it doesn't even matter, because I'm still getting spammed by phone calls inside of that game, regardless. Need for Speed 2015 was a warning for bad things to come. I should have seen that I should have seen it like that, but I didn't. Regardless, at the time when it was around, I didn't really bother back then. It was until some point when I tried it out on my brother's PS4, as I said. Actually, you weren't here for that story, 7-6, so I'll just explain it real quick. I played it on PS4. I played it on my brother's PS4, and I didn't like how it turned out to be eventually at one point, figuring that out the hard way. That's as much as I'll say. Kind of reminds me of like in GTA Online. Well, I mean, GTA Online is still getting updates, but shit's still expensive in there. It doesn't really matter which GTA Online you're playing, like what console you're playing it. Everything is expensive. Plus, the fact that Rockstar Games is going by with GTA Plus makes things even more worse. It ruins mission payouts for certain missions. I presume. I don't really know. I gave up playing GTA 5 online a long time ago. I'm not going back. The phone calls. Oh yeah, the phone calls. When you get spammed for certain properties you haven't bought yet and that you should buy or some stupid crap like that.
The proper Underground 3. A thing to note is that it's not even called 2015. We just called it that because that's what we do here. We've kind of labelled it that. But
It's called 2015 because it doesn't deserve. I would think, to my honest opinion, my own opinion, it doesn't deserve to be called Underground 3. So if you're gonna come in on this live stream and just think straight out of your ass and try to comment me differently about this, fuck off. I wish I could have just showed you that I flipped you off right now. Instead, I don't want to reveal my face. Like, I'm not really the type of I would reveal it, but if I felt comfortable with it.
Need for Speed is just called Need for Speed. It's a reboot. It's pretty much setting in stone what a Need for Speed game should be.
No, it's a terrible reboot. Fuck off.
And it did a brilliant job at that. Not perfect, but I thought it did a pretty good job. It's getting a bloody flag and being like, this is what it is. This is what you all expect from Need for Speed. Need for Speed. It fits all.
I expected to at least cease development now. If Criterion is still making another Need for Speed, they could just do me the favor. Please, don't finish developing it. Don't release it. Don't do it. Because it's not worth it anymore.
All of the same categories that the boy Carbon does too. The spicy boy Carbon, it fits everything. Everything. It doesn't tie in by story, just like Carbon. It is Ghost's version of Underground. That's exactly what it is. It's Ghost. Think Most Wanted 2012 if Most Wanted 2012 would have actually been shit. It's their view. Could they have called it Underground 3? Could they have called it Need for Speed Underground? Yes, they could.
But I would digress, as I said earlier. Like, the reason as to... I haven't stated out the reason as to why, but the reason as to why, as of recent, why it wasn't called Underground was the fact that it didn't even feel the exact same way as Undergrounds 1 and 2 did. You may say from the atmosphere of the game, but that says differently. You may say the customization options were just a little bit interesting, except that there wasn't a lot as to what we had before. No! And you probably might say the car lists. We may have some tuners, but we also have some supercars. I don't care about supercars. I wouldn't even care if the Toyota Supra was inside of the next Need for Speed. For all that I know, is the fact that regardless of whether a car manufacturer exists that once had legendary cars, whether it be Nissan, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Lancia, for all I know, Alfa Romeo, I don't care which car company comes into this game. For all that I know, it won't even make a difference. It doesn't feel the same.
But they were doing a bigger statement than that, and I think it got overlooked. And them saying, this is what Need for Speed is now. It is attempting to be a street racing game, illegal, underground, and like it.
Ghost Games should have digressed and thought twice. That or even EA. I don't care. Who would just thinks twice about this? At the time, they should have thought twice as to Need for Speed. Because in all honesty, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what racing it is. Need for Speed's Need for Speed. You can't say that Need for Speed should just pertain to one specific type of racing and that's just about it. No, that's not how it worked back then, and it's not how it should work right now. For all that I know, you could probably say like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift should just stick to street racing instead of spy mission stuff. Or actually, I should just say the exact opposite. Where it should pertain to more of the spy stuff rather than the classic car culture and street racing kind of stuff. Realistically, when Fast and Furious has done the spy stuff, that would ultimately ruins the whole entire movie franchise, as it was about cars, about racing and all that kind of stuff. That's what made the first, the second, and the third movies good for the time being. And just like Need for Speed, where it came to before Black Box Studios, it was mainly about road, open freeways, open roads. It don't matter if it was in the city or not. It was about racing sports cars. Maybe supercars for all that we know, or even hypercars if there was any that existed back then, or muscle cars. It didn't matter which car you drove inside of those older games before Need for Speed Underground existed. All you have to know is that you're driving a car that has some performance underneath the hood, underneath the transmission, underneath the suspension, the tires, everything about the car. That was Need for Speed back then. But essentially, say that we get the black box, yeah, sure. We get to the modifications part. We could change the performance to our liking. We could change the style of the car to our liking. That's it for Underground. Underground 2, Most 105, Carbon, Undercover. And I think World. I'm not too certain if Black Box worked with Need for Speed World. But you get the idea. But then later on, Criterion takes over. Well, I mean, Slightly Mad was around to make Need for Speed Shift, and it had some form of customization, but it was track racing. Like Le Mans style. And that was just about it. But then head over to Criterion. It went to the same old aspects as to what Need for Speed once was before Black Box.
Piss off. Well, then came the flood of complaints, and there was a big list of them, and one of the major ones, for everybody that isn't us, was saying,
"Oh, it's nighttime only. I don't like this game."
Well, we were asking for that. Well, I wasn't.
I don't care if it's just nighttime only or if it's like daytime only. Of course, some people may have had that complaint before, but to me, it doesn't really make a difference. Like I said, the atmosphere of the game, like the graphical details, yeah, hell, even the day and night time kind of thing. That detail doesn't matter to me. It's the gameplay that matters to me. That could apply to most other people out there, especially the people that are watching my live stream. I mean, yeah, sure, I don't get a lot of people watching this live stream, but still, regardless.
Personally, I didn't really give a shite.
Why the game nighttime only? Oh my god, Ghost can't even make
It was nighttime only because
Ghost can't even make a proper Need for Speed game. Never mind the fact that they can't even. Well, actually, I should just say that should just stay as base. Need for Speed can't even make a proper Need for Speed game. As of recent, I just think they don't even deserve to make another Need for Speed game. It's probably a good reason as to why EA decided to downgrade Ghost games in the first place and let Criterion take over for Need for Speed games as of recent. I think their logic's much more better than what you would think. Because you did make a video about Ghost games shutting down and then Criterion was taking over for new Need for Speed games. You cried real badly about that. Because you're supporting a shit studio that existed since 2013 or 2012 and doesn't even know how to make a game. Because it's a joint project. It's a joint studio of two forms of employees from different places. One from DICE, which was all the way at Sweden. The other, Criterion, which is all the way over at UK. Put together, put into Gothenburg, it's Sweden. And the problem is the DICE people don't even know how to make a racing game. Yeah, sure, they probably made Battlefield games, but that's like a different story. If they made vehicles in Battlefield, it's a different story than just making a racing game like Need for Speed.
They wanted that vibe.
Ugh.
The vibe of street racing, the vibe of underground, and then everybody was like, nah, mate.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it. That's what everyone is like. They don't like it because at some certain point, Ghost Games fucked up on that game real badly. I hate that game more than Payback. I'll be fair. Actually, I'm just still gonna stick to that. Payback may have had more things that made the game more problematic, and that people would want to forget that game more. But I realistically despise 2015 more than Payback.
So, you know what, we Payback, we'll make it day and night cycle, so that's exactly what they did. Now, again, this points to me to say again, for those that are still asking for Underground on the comments of my videos and stuff, to this day,
Should have kept their mouths shut instead of asking for it. Because it ain't ever going to happen. No matter what people think, it's never going to happen. This is EA we're talking about. Because EA is given the creative right to whatever they can do or whatever they want to do with Need for Speed as a franchise. At this rate, they should have just killed the game series by now.
okay, I don't understand you, because you are the same people that are complaining that the last game was nighttime only. So if you're still asking for Underground 3, saying 2015 on Payback, they're not even close to what Underground should be, they should just make Underground 3, it's so easy. If that's the case, why?
They're not the same thing because of the gameplay, physics, and mechanics. How many times do I have to say this to you?
Did you complain that there was nighttime only? That was a step in the direction of saying, oh look, it's a, and then you were like, nah! The only core elements that Payback actually changed was adding kind of more variety and stuff other than that. But I'm talking about the actual underground elements of it. It didn't remove anything except the free roam cop.
The underground elements shouldn't even exist anymore. Fucking bullshit. Right now, the underground elements shouldn't even exist anymore. I wish everyone could have forgotten about it. I wish Black Panther would have forgotten about it. So that way Need for Speed 2015 didn't have to exist.
Which you can actually technically do. I'll talk more about that in a
But no, I can't get that wish because everyone remembers it so well, and nowadays people are complaining about it. Hell, I played Need for Speed Underground as my first game. Even I was not even complaining about it, about Black Box Studios shutting down. I mean, like, yeah, sure, it's disappointing that Black Box shut down a long time ago. But I didn't go out of my way just to say that, oh, there should be another studio that follows the footsteps of Black Box Studios and make another Need for Speed game that is based on the Tuner Saga. Because I know for certain that because I had to learn at one point, another studio would probably not even do a good job as to working around the Tuner Saga, much like how Black Box did for the time being. And this is what it... And Ghost Games is just what... Ghost Games is a perfect example. Again, I think this is just a waste of time, you can believe it or not. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just finish the video.
A little while. It just had daytime, and it had more development.
I'll just remain quiet and just finish the video. I don't even want to argue with this bullshit anymore. Because I'm pretty certain Black Panther's not gonna listen in, and he's gonna cry, and the fact that, I don't even know what he does, but I'm pretty certain he's going to have a shit about this. But except that he's not going to show it to us.
Characters, although they were very debatable in how they acted and how they performed. Shite. But in the end, it was good intention. It was intention on improving and adding in what people requested from the last game. Let's say everything I just said to you is utter rubbish, and that ain't Underground 3.
You're a clickbaiter. This ain't on.
I've got something to tell you. Okay, will Underground 3 ever happen to that specific person that's still commenting on every single video saying,
well, we should just make Underground 3.
Okay, for you, the answer is no, fuck off. There's no Underground ever. Shouldn't be done. Stupid. The series has moved on a lot, and I know that's an answer that a lot of people give, and those that people, for example, when Most Wanted 2012 came out, or Hot Pursuit 2010 came out, when those games came out, that was
So we can all agree that Black Panther wanted Underground 3 to exist, but Underground 3 is not ever going to happen. Good to know. Another part of my life that I have to deal with, saying that this game was eventually supposed to be called Underground 3 because Black Panther said so in the video. Fuck my life. I think for the rest of my life, just doing that video, I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. Some people are probably gonna say, don't make the video. Underground 3 is a dream for me. Underground 3 is a nightmare for me. I'll just leave it at that. It'll remain a nightmare no matter what people think. I'll just leave it at that. But the real game is not this bullshit EA is doing with Need for Speed. Honestly, I don't really care who is doing what with Need for Speed. But all I know is that everything being done there is just terrible. Nothing more than that. Verified channel chat, is this real? Yeah, it's a verified channel. I just checked it out. AS80s. Yeah, it's a verified. I'm guessing it's like paid. When Ghosts were developing the game, they probably still working on the title, but then they ran out of time. I don't get EA. EA tells Ghost Games that you're given like a short amount of time just to make, like less than a month to make this game. And Ghost Games was making it and they didn't have enough time to finish pretty much anything that they're supposed to do. And I'm gonna mute the desktop audio real quick, because I don't want any copyrighted music to play throughout the live stream of this game. Because I'm gonna be playing Need for Speed Underground 2, because that's a much more based Need for Speed Underground game. I know it's overrated. I should probably be playing Need for Speed Underground 1 instead. I might do that some other day. I didn't pay for subs. I just farmed with YouTube Shorts. I'm not really farming on YouTube Shorts. I'm just not really one to. I just think about doing YouTube from like the get-go, like how it was. Never mind the fact about the copyright, because the cutscenes.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Rachel, Samantha's friend. I heard your plane finally got in. Well, welcome to Bayview. Hey, if you haven't already guessed it, what you're hearing is the car's short message system, otherwise known as SMS. I don't know if you're familiar with it, so I set it up for first-time use. Read the instructions to find out how it works. Now check out the mini-map. It's simple to use, but make sure you get familiar with it. This is the big city, you know. I need my ride
Speak
back
of
soon, so meet me at the car lot
of
right
Shorts
on the
80s.
map.
I've mainly used it more for informing people as to what's going on. And that's just about it. I haven't put in any plans to use it for like any short gameplay stuff that I have, or out of context or anything like that. Not really the idea I have. Besides the fact that I'm just informing people of what's going on. Much like I'm using the community page for that. Of course, everyone has their own ways of doing YouTube. Not much I'll have to say.
Hey, Rachel. What up, girl? Word on the wire is that there's some action brewing in Fort Union. I haven't been able to pinpoint the exact location, but you should be able to find them without much problem.
Man, you got to be kidding me.
It's a good way
Dial
to
down
use
your
shorts.
ego,
I just
kid.
feel like getting.
Just cause you're in Rachel's car don't mean anything. Throw down some cash and let's do this.
Oh, okay.
No mercy. See you at the finish line, son.
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm most likely gonna end up drunk after these 2 Angry Orchard bottles. That much I'll say. Because my dumbass decided to get Angry Orchards a few days ago. I don't know why. I guess just for that feeling of an Angry Orchard. I barely even do get alcohol anyways. This is a proper Need for Speed. This is one that I could enjoy for a very long while. Over and over and over again. Without having to deal with very much restrictions. Without having to deal with very much bullshit that comes in my way. Besides traffic cars, because traffic cars could be problematic inside this game. But they're not as bad as, like, 2015. To say the least. Plus the crash cams, I don't know, they just feel like they're a lot more better inside this game, or if anything. Despite the fact that I don't even think it's kind of rare to find crash cams inside of this game. What came to crash cams is that inside of Underground 1, at least you're still able to drive your car. Instead of just like instead of like your car stopping motion at one certain place and you don't move for however long you're set to move. You're set not to move. Unlike 2015. The fact about it is that I'm assuming most likely the newer Need for Speeds, the most recent ones, Unbound, is now tying itself not only just to racing but car combat too. And fairly enough, I find it much more better for car combat in regards to just mainly games that are sort of like Need for Speed Heat 2010. Of course, there was older Hot Pursuit. Why did I say Heat? Hot Pursuit 2010. And Need for Speed Rivals 2015. I mean, 2014. 2013. Just Need for Speed Rivals. I mean, fairly enough, well, interestingly enough, the only 2 Need for Speed games between the lines of, for the lines of Ghost games, the only ones that are only decent to me are just Rivals and Heat. Some people are probably going to have their own innings in regards to
Hey dude, what's the holdup? You lost or something? The car lot is on
Rivals,
hurry up and get over
their own
here.
beef.
I don't have all night.
But I just want to state out my opinion that regardless of how people thought within the Need for Speed community, I still just think it's still enjoyable. Regardless of the fact that it's just a much more downgraded pursuit,
Hey, what are you
to
doing
say
at
the
Rachel's
least.
ride? Oh,
For me,
you're
it's
that
Carbon.
dude I
That
heard
game I would
about.
play over
Well,
and over.
let's welcome you the right way.
Carbon,
And that's
yeah,
what
it's
we're
an
doing.
interesting
All
choice.
out you bring.
However, I would have to play it bone stock because I kind of ruined the game. I've installed a mod where, well, of course it enhances the game in some certain perspective, but when it comes to playing the game, a lot of things are just trickier to go by, such as the racing. The cops are a lot more tougher to deal with. And unfortunately that would mean that would mean deleting the whole entire game plus the save at the same time, because the save is included on that same mod. And without that mod, the save file would not work. Just like how if you have a save file, and say that you were about to load up the mod, you would suffer some technical issues while starting up the game on that save file that you have. Because the mod finds it very hard to calculate the saved profiles and mixing in some of the elements, like adding in some cars from the mod into the main game. I have had trouble trying to install ProStrate on PC, I'll be honest. I've had trouble trying to get ProStrate on PC, that much I'll say. I did see that game on at the Press Start game store, and it was for PS2. I would have gotten that game, or at least that's what I remember. I forgot. I did know there was an Underground 2 game there, but the problem is that the game was damaged. It was unplayable. Oh, I've pressed no.
Hey man, I want my car back. You better haul over here ASAP or I'm putting the word out on you. And that means no more racing until I say so.
Straight
Get over
to
here
the
now.
dealership. Oh. Time I had the Pro Stream, I didn't. To me, it's just unusual to get the same game for 2 different consoles. Because, in all honesty, to me, if you're getting the same game for the set for 2 different consoles, I mean, it feels like to me it doesn't really matter. You're still playing the same game regardless. That's at least how I see it. Pretty much, you have the game, you are basically playing it. It doesn't matter which console you're on, because as long as you're playing it, you're playing the game. Of course, I can't really say the same for NASCAR Thunder 2004, because I found that out that, well, for a certain majority of sports games that were made by EA, between PS1 and PS2 has some differences.
Hey, you can finally replace those wheels you lost.
I could say this much as to NASCAR Thunder 2004, as inside of that game, when you're playing on the PS2, you're bound to be able to start your own career inside the game. Quite honestly, I never knew about that back then until I figured it out, but I was too dumb. But I would be happy if Black Box made the same content on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Yeah, but if they can't do it, they can't do it. Now all I need to do is choose a car. Hey, what's the worst car that's inside this game? I want to know. I want to know real badly, which one's the worst car to ever exist inside this game? Worst car has to be one of the SUVs. Unfortunately, it's not giving me a choice to buy an SUV. All it's showing me is the Miata, the 240SX, the Corolla, Focus, the 206, and the Honda Civic. And quite frankly, out of the current list, definitely the Focus. Okay, I'm taking the Focus. The reason why is because I want to choose the worst car to drive and just race through the progression inside of it. Oh, it's only a VIP card to have exclusive stuff. Yeah, then, I mean, I want to avoid VIP cards. I mean, having stuff set out to Xbox 360 and PS3 is bound to have its own limitations one way or another. If EA right now would have been at that same time when the PS3 and Xbox 360 was around, it would have been like that, as you described it. The only thing is that it takes in the very games we like the most underneath the paywall. And imagine if they knew how to do monthly subscriptions, that VIP would basically not last very long. Despite this car being the worst, what could possibly go wrong? Right? I think I'm the only one who thinks differently. It just depends on how I play the game anyways. But I'm enjoying myself with a little bit of alcohol.
Let me give you the 411.
So
everything in the Bayview race scene goes through me.
I said,
And if you
Yo, here we are. Your own personal space. You can lay out all your parts and gear here. There's also some tools in the back so you can custom tune your ride.
I don't know what you mean. I am...
Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention that there's a lot of action in the city tonight. I've uploaded the race locations into your map. Go out there and start making a name for yourself.
Yes. Make a name for myself with the worst car to possibly exist. Nice.
Yo, listen here.
Kind of bound. It's not drifting. So let's just go ahead and get this race going. There's about 3 AIs that have the exact same car. You know, for some apparent reason, when it came to the taillights of this car, it's what actually got me intrigued about it in the first place. Much like the Ford Explorer pickup truck. Those small ones. Want to have more content on Carbon or Pro Street instead of story. Oh, so kind of like DLCs is what you're trying to say. That would have been a lot more worse. Because without the VIP, if you put it like that, excuse me if I burped, then there would be some extra content that was inside of the game, but yet in order to actually access that content, that said content, you would need that VIP in order to actually be able to do that. And I don't know why I haven't put autosave for this. It says prompt. There we go. Whoops. That should make
Hey, nice race back there, but here's a little
easier
tip for you.
to deal with.
I don't know how things worked in that cow town you came from, but just winning here ain't enough. You build your reputation by destroying your opponents. Margin of victory is as important as winning.
Hey man, if you haven't already heard, I'm in the know when it comes to all the tuner gear coming and going in Bayview. If a shop's got something prime and worth looking at, I'll hit you on your SMS and let you in on it. The stuff usually goes fast, so pay attention to your message alert. Don't thank me just yet. I haven't figured out what you owe me in return.
So people were asking me, or saying in the comments of the 2012 video about there being, that I should probably do like a, let me think. About an underground video. I can't remember which underground it is right now because
Call you later.
Alcohol's hitting me.
Hey,
But I do
man.
remember hearing that I should do another. I was like, that's an interesting suggestion. Maybe someday I could do that. And I forgot how you shift. I figured it out now, but I forgot how you shift initially. So yeah, the suggestion was in the comment section of that video. I was like, maybe someday. Maybe. But it was at one of the recent times when I saw the comments and people were still, well, they were still talking about the video. I'm still not really surprised about it that much often anyways. But I'm like, if people are asking for another video, then I guess I should. But I mean, there's a few games I can talk about. A few Need for Speed games. But I thought about picking off games that I don't like the most first, before I start getting to the good ones. Like this one, for instance. I was also asked about playing some PlayStation 1 games. I might do that eventually, but that probably would be another time because I don't know. I cannot say for certain this is true, but the way I think about it when it comes to playing PlayStation 1 games, emulate them through the PC and try to record them, what just ended up causing a lot of lag issues, frame FPS issues at the same time. And that would be problematic for me to be dealing with when it comes to those videos. So maybe someday, I can't say when specifically because I'm not guaranteeing that it will actually happen like right away, but maybe someday I'll do that with just a much more better PC, much more better laptop. That's all I will say. Man, I shouldn't even have done my little rant to Black Panther. That video of Black Panther. Starting to hurt my head, now I'm forgetting about some certain things. Plus I'm underneath the influence of alcohol, doesn't even make things any more better. It's a good thing I'm not driving tonight. In real life. Needless to say, I don't even have any place to go. Yeah, this is a lot more better game to stream. Much better than 2015, that much I'll say. Given, of course, it is an older games, and when it comes to older games and modern technology, it works more better. Be careful with this. Don't worry, I will. But I cannot promise you that. I'll be careful. No worries. I'll only limit myself to 2 bottles at least. I hardly ever drink, so yeah, I'm pretty much a light drinker. I'm not really big on alcohol. I've never really been a big fan of it. Besides the fact that I once tried it, that I ain't interested in it. I was at one point, but after a little family drama that happened between my parents, what led me to reduce myself from actually drinking. Even if I did, I rarely even buy any alcohol as it is. Extremely rare to find any buying alcohol. You know, for a car being bad, for being the worst one to ever exist inside this game, I'm handling this. I'm getting through this very well. Despite the fact that it handles like shit. I only had an interest for a small amount, but that's just it and nothing more. But anyways, I'm glad you're not like me, where you're not drinking alcohol. I always try to maintain myself from keeping my interests away from alcohol, but sometimes I can't really. But there are times I can't help it that much. Oh, smoking's another story. Because my parents always said if they... This is just being said rhetorically. If they ever caught me smoking, they'd kill me. It's said in rhetorical sense. They're just not taken seriously. I'm only saying that because YouTube's picky about some certain stuff. They'll kick my ass. That's also said rhetorically. But yeah, smoking is the one thing I never want to do in my life. Especially if there was some people that I know of that actually does smoking. Alcohol? Extremely rare nowadays. Just extremely rare for me to go by. I don't really like drinking alcohol. But sometimes I just do it because I can't help myself. Sometimes I have that urge. You just have that urge that you want to do something and yet you're just telling yourself you don't want to. It's really hard for you to decide what you want to do. My urge is try to kill as many brain cells as I possibly can. Well, maybe someday on the stream I'll probably be doing that. But maybe in the future, I don't really know. Either a video or another live stream or something like that. The urge I have is to just suffer from losing loads of brain cells where I can't think properly. That's without the assistance. That's without alcohol. Yeah, you could pretty much say that. Like puppeteering. Oh, this is the one thing I don't like about drifting inside this game. Is the fact that I gotta deal with a bunch of other AI. They're on the same track as I am. When you're playing Underground 1, you know that you actually drift, but you're not drifting with a bunch of AI inside of the same track with you in it. And in all honesty, you're actually just drifting to see how many points you get, but when someone finishes in first place, it just decreases as time goes by inside this game. After everyone else has finished. Actually, there's like a small timer for the hurry. And then that actually happens.
Hey man, you're raising some serious hype out there. Looks like a couple of companies want to represent you. That means you qualify for the Underground Racing League I told you about. No track.
No. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me anyways anymore. Actually, I shouldn't even say that it should matter. But the fact is, cutscenes end up with copyright music one way or another. That gets most of these live streams, maybe even videos, copyright claimed at some certain point. Surely enough, I can't do anything about it aside from mute the audio, but then again, we won't be able to hear any dialogue during the cutscene. Live streams, I can't do shit there. Besides just show what I'm playing or what I'm doing. Besides that, I can't really edit them. Sometimes it's the car, other times it's the driver. I still want either way.
Hey dude, I just sorted through the last stack of contracts. A lot of sponsors want to sign you up for the Underground Racing League. So I picked the best of the best for you. Just let me know who you want to sign with.
Let's see, I want to do the one that has the most payout. So I'll do Edelblock, or Edelbrock. Because URL victory doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Hey, I wanted to give you the heads up. Now that you're under contract to the sponsor, you've got to complete some specific events to complete your deal. You see the X icons? That's them. Get over there and tear it up. I'll talk to you later. Hey man, did you hear? Access to Beacon Hill just got cleared. You should scope it out. Talk to you later.
I don't think I'll have any performance parts per se, but I think it's just best to check. You never know. Just better to be safe than sorry. Burger King. Look, they even got Burger King in there. You don't ever see licensed food companies inside of the newer Need for Speeds nowadays, do you? At least I'm feeling more calmer now than earlier. Head just feels like it's racing out of anything. Hooray! We made it to the garage. Need for Speed great choice. I hope you are doing well today. Oh, I'm feeling a lot more better now that I don't really... Ah, wait. No, this is the garage that I'm supposed to... It's the safe house garage. Yeah, anyways, I'm doing a lot more better now. Of course, I did have a little rant over earlier stream, just about Black Panther's logic and stuff like that. The fact as to Need for Speed 2015 existing. Kind of a little bit annoyed, maybe even pissed off. But yeah, no, I'm feeling a little bit more better. Eventually I'm gonna feel shit-faced. No, that's not funny. For some apparent reason, I find it funny, but it should not even be funny. I'm not even paying attention. I'm on my phone looking at looking at YouTube, channel activities and shit like that. Of course, heads up for a performance shop. Get these extra bonus cash. Need for Speed Underground 2 is a great choice for the fact that I like the car customization options in there.
You made it. This here is mega low power. Horsepower equals speed. So bolt
honestly,
on you can. Right here,
between this and most to the first Underground, I think the better choice for me would probably be Underground 1. Considering the fact that not a lot of people talk about that game. They talk about this game more than this.
Now, transmission is where you lose. Tighten your ride. Nitrous oxide is the glycerin of the race world. Rack it under your hood to give your ride that extra power when you need it.
I mean, you can't really disagree on what I say, because the talk, the loads of talk, in regards to what was the best Need for Speed game that Black Box ever made. Whatever would most likely tie in this game or Most Wanted. I like that there's no crash damage, so it's easier to ride the corners with those digital barriers. It is to be a good try for a little. Yeah, it kind of makes racing a little more simpler, especially if you wall grind. Much like how Ross Chastain finds the wall on one of the races. I forgot which race it was. And I did get a few performance parts, so now I'm ready to race. I think the ultimate goal for me inside of this game, when continuing to live stream it, is to simply play through and beat the game with this car. Well, wall grind. I learned a new term today. Cool things. Wall grind or rubber banding. Something like that. Either way. Sometimes I'm not really certain about playing on the keyboard. It just feels weird to play a racing game on the keyboard. I'm probably certain there's controller support for this game. I just don't really bother to check. Realistically, when it comes to trying to do content on gaming, doing live streams just feels a lot more easier. I said this once before, at least in a stream or two ago on GTA 4, where I said that I did videos on Need for Speed Underground 1 and Need for Speed Shift. However, I really never continued through to make more videos on that because one of the few reasons it would just take me a very, very long while just to get the footage, make the whole entire video and stuff, and then upload it and stuff like that. That's just about it. Rubber banding is when the AI is way behind and somehow slingshotted to being right behind you. Mario Kart Super Nintendo, when Super Nintendo was awful for it. Yeah, that, and also Need for Speed Underground 1. I had to figure out at one point that the first Underground had that too. And back then, when I played the first Underground, I never even knew what rubber banding once was. But at least Underground 2 was a major improvement on that, where there wasn't really rubber banding. And much like how Mario Kart, the next Mario Kart after the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, that other Mario Kart also improved on the rubber banding part too. I guess rubber banding existed back then just to keep players going on by making it seem like a challenge or something like that. at least one way to think of rubber banding, to try to make it seem like it's still a challenge against the AI. No matter what racing game you play, for the time being. Whether it be Underground, whether it be the Mario Kart from the SNES, and yeah, that being that. I can't look at my phone while I'm in this track race. I do have to agree, despite the fact that some things change, there could be some things that go wrong. Yeah, the drivability inside of this game is what really steps up the Need for Speed franchise when Black Box was still running around with it. When Black Box was still on the show, I presume. This is at least one of the hidden races. What I will find going wrong though when streaming through this game is having a bad omen towards traffic. I've had that recently. I've been having that lately when it came to GTA 4, and there is no way that, and there is a chance that I'm gonna have the same problem inside of this game. That's not very. 750 is not very much, but it'll have to do in the long run, regardless. Wait, so what other race was I supposed to do? I'm just gonna have to go through a lot of these races before I start doing URL ones, because I think I remember doing a gameplay before I did YouTube videos on, in general, or even did live streaming or anything like that. Do some constant live streaming. I did play through this game, however, it was with the fact that I made progression without getting the first stage of tires. Considering the fact that it was locked, and I didn't know how to do so. So I'm only hoping that progressing through each and every single races before doing the URL changes that problem. Messing around with the rear view. Fuck. Adding too much equals BS words and cheese finishes. Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about, I don't know. feel like there's always going to be BS moments no matter what game you're playing. For all I know, you could probably have that right now inside of this one. I think the only time I had too much referring to rubber band AIs. Oh yeah, for that. Yeah, it's bad in Underground, that much I'll have to say. But still, referring to BS moments, or cheesy BS moments would probably be like... Well, for me, all I know is in regards to playing online, but knowing online inside of Wreckfest is just chaotic as hell, considering the fact that... the thing is, because Wreckfest online community is just random as shit. That much I'll have to say. Once I saw the player count, it was like 910 people. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised there's still people playing this game. And to be quite honest, it's a good drive racing game. It is made by Bugbear. That's much I can say. They've done good things when it came to the Flat Out series ever since up to Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. And they delivered well on the Wreckfest, despite the fact that it's not really the same thing as to what Flat Out once was. Of course, they also made the Ridge Racer for Namco, but I don't know. I'm more interested into crashing into opponents, not in a straight line. That being said, I'd rather be given a chance to spin out. Of course, the Ridge Racer Unbounded has moments where you can spin out, but that's not what I want to go by. Plus, I never really even played that game back then when it initially released because, I don't know. Besides the fact that it looked interesting, our parents never really bought it. And to be honest, while playing Ridge Racer 7 in the PSP version, it's bound to be not the same. Despite the fact that the Ridge Racer before Ghost Bugbear decided to make Ridge Racer Unbounded, or assisted in making Ridge Racer Unbounded, was more scripted than simulated when in regards to racing and the drifting inside the game series too. Damn it. Clipping through the NPCs. For all I know, those NPCs, they can be ghosts. Problem is trying to maintain this car sideways, trying not to hit any walls nor slow down. Given by the fact that this car is a front-wheel drive vehicle, it's underpowered, and kind of handles like shit. But regardless, it's something.
Heads up, scouts from Turbo Magazine are here.
Right, let's go ahead and meet up with this car. Drifting a front-wheel drive car makes sense. Yes, it makes absolute sense.
Yo, dog, good to see you rolling out tonight. There's some action in the Beacon Hill area. No line on an exact location, but it should be easy to find. I'm heading that way. Hope to see you there.
In all honesty, drifting in front-wheel drive cars, this is being said in general, would probably be a weird thing to see or to actually encounter. I don't know, but it's just kind of much like how everyone else thinks of it like this. It's realistically unusual to. No, I know you're not serious, but I'm just saying, like in general. I thought. When it comes to drifting a front-wheel drive car, it would just feel weird in general. That's all I'm just gonna say. I know that drifting is my attempt to be sarcastic. I know I kind of ruined it, I'm sorry. But I thought it would just be a good topic to talk about. I don't really like being silent on the long run. Despite the fact that I do need to remain quiet from time to time while playing through the game and streaming at the same time. But I mean, I can't help myself, I just want to talk about something. Just contemplate, maybe.
Nice, you just scored the cover of Turbo. Hey, you're gonna like this. Get your ride into the zone and move it around while changing the angle of the camera. When you're happy with the setup, press the camera button and take the shot. What you snap will show on the cover of the next mag. Now get at it. You don't have all night.
I think this will be good. Let's see. Cycle cameras. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Bam! That's how you do it. You know, sometimes I ruin the sarcasm with just trying to talk about, just bringing up a topic about that. All the more that people say that I ruin sarcasm at some certain point. I didn't want to ruin your sarcasm. I'm sorry. I just wanted a good topic to talk about while playing the game. Sometimes I get bored being able to see it. No worries, I'm not actually fine. But I am just fine. It's a hard knock life, especially considering that you're fighting against another focus in a wall. Being the worst car, I'm just handling this like a dream. Yeah, that's not so bad. This is the best, worst car to ever exist. Please change my mind. You didn't? Oh, okay. Wheel spin. I'm just gonna say this again. I am driving the worst car inside the game. Unless there's some other one, maybe in some other game, that is out there. Man, I wish it would rain that often where I'm living at. That way, when I drive, I could enjoy the rain while driving. It just feels more soothing. It would be nice to do that, but the only thing that ruins my mood of driving would be just traffic, and that's about it. But regardless, I still gotta follow traffic laws one way or another. Nobody's exempt. Nobody is given the exemption of not being able to follow traffic laws. That much I can say. But still, it would have been nice to be driving around in the rain. It would feel soothing, comfortable. I think one bottle's fine. I don't know why I decided to get 2 bottles at the same time. And as soon as I'm done with this race, I'm gonna go put 1 bottle back, and I'm gonna finish what I have currently. The last time I drank 2 was on the recent one. Right, I'm gonna be right back real quickly. Right, let's do this. What is this camera? There we go. That's more better. I'm trying to play the classic traditional type of Need for Speed, where you got the camera up close. I know that URL in Need for Speed term, it means Underground Racing League. But in general, when it comes to URL, when it comes to searching up something on the computer, I never know what that means. Should have stopped here.
Yo, unless you want your ride to look like your mom's, then this is the place for you. All your visual upgrades are here. Fenders, spoilers, side skirts, and more.
Chat, we're ricing. Okay, maybe we're at least able to get some customizations in. Actually, no. I'm gonna take these mirrors. Just because I can. Give me the good stuff. Give me that. And that's pretty much about it.
The guys from Bayview's Best are filming their next flick tonight. Bring it home, and you'll get in their movie for sure.
Well, we got some pizzazz, but that's not enough. We need paint. We need paint. Remember, there's like a paint shop somewhere around the casino. Just need to pinpoint my way. Okay.
Hey, what's up, money? Yo, I got some action for you. Nah, I haven't been able to pinpoint the place, man, but it's somewhere in the Beacon Hill area. Crew tells me some easy pickings. Y'all give you a shout if I hear any more. Peace.
Oh, what is happening in the stream? Okay, it's getting a little bit better now. There's some frame drop, but I don't want to assume that something's causing the game to lag that bad on the stream. God damn it, I forgot where the paint shop is at. Oh, wait. Here, reverse. There it is. There is the paint shop.
Hey, people will... Making your ride stand out is what it's all about, so customize your ride with a color change.
Can't do those options just yet. There we go. Give me that.
Hey, vinyl is second skin style for your paint, so layer it on.
That.
Yo, front your parts and name them with sponsors decals.
Boom, boom. There we go.
Checking it out, bro. You just got featured on the DVD Bayview's Best.
Now that looks nice. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good on my end. Not much I can say. I'll go with it. Got some money. Money. Gonna need it on the long run for some more points. Yeah, Mini Club 3. Mini Club LA. I like Mini Club 3 more than LA, despite the fact that people say it's an over... Despite the fact that people say 3 is an overrated game. Could have gotten taken out by that pickup truck. There's one thing I'm disappointed about this game. It's the fact that it didn't have a few certain vehicles that were in the game. Probably a little bit less vehicles than the previous one. But the vehicles that were removed were... Well, the vehicles that were never added into this game was the Dodge Neon from Underground 1, the Honda S2000, and the Acura Integra Type R. I think Dodge is like, there's a licensing issue between them and EA for the next Need for Speed game. I don't really know. But EA didn't have the licensing issue for Honda, maybe even Acura. And they were able to use some of the licensed cars underneath that brand, but the only one they have so far, which was from Underground 1, was the Honda Civic. Although realistically that's disappointing. However, we did get some cars, some additional cars. cars that were from Toyota. I don't know why you. It's a Ford. You know what Ford stands for, don't you? It stands for fix it again, Tony. I get the funny thing. However, I am enjoying racing Ford Focus. That's much I can say. To me, it's just the best, worst car to ever exist. I wish there was a way to run back in the highway that was. Wait, a cut highway? You're saying that there's a section of this game that was cut from the game development? Like a piece of road? Honda or Acura and SX would be fitting in the. Yeah. One of those two or both of them at the same time would be fitting. Makes no difference to me. But regardless about me not winning because I'm in the Ford, I'm just. Who knows? Maybe throughout the whole entire game I'll just be racing the whole entire campaign instead of this. Tony, fix this car again. Tony, fix it again. Tony, the car needs to be fixed. Well, I'm coming in second place against the Supra. And it crashed into a wall. Thank you. I'll read chat in a moment. Just gotta finish up this race. I'm just used to playing through the game and then do a certain event and then read the chat later. Shit, motherfucker just spun me out. And it's a Honda too. They didn't spin me out completely, but they did try. Shit! I'm not even paying attention. What is with the Supra? For one thing, he did crash into that wall. But he was on my ass! Ah! Alright, let's read chat. Yeah, 2 highways was cut into the final builds. I guess they never really made enough time to finish up. But they're only
Reps from the Sport Compact car are on location tonight, and they have a hot model for the winner's hood. Incentive enough?
15 on everything makes sense in the context of rally. Yeah. Because rally racing defies physics. Getting back after streams like a huge channel. Be it. Alrighty. I guess they didn't have very much to stream or something like that. I can't really say for certain. My main concern though is this construction part over here. It kind of is pointless in the game. Would have been a much more. It would have been. What the fuck is that? That's not something you see every day. Yeah. Need for Speed logic, I presume. I was trying to say that I feel like this construction part of the game feels kind of pointless. The Focus Chronicles are still trying to outlive and trying to figure out what's the logic of this traffic. Well, I think I know because I was mistaken. But yeah, I'm hearing right now that the freeways inside this game has been cut a long time ago while Black Box was making the game. I never knew about that. All I know was the cut vehicles. Actually, vehicles that didn't make it to the final product of this game. I didn't really think of there being some freeways that were added in.
Yo, dog.
Cut
Word
from
on the
the
wire
game.
is that there's some action brewing in Beacon Hill. I haven't been able to
I did
pinpoint
encounter
the exact location.
the freeways
You should
while
be
I
able
was
to
in the
find
middle
them
of a
without much
drag race,
problem.
at
It
least
should be
earlier
some
in the
easy
stream.
pickings, so I thought you might want in. Good luck. I'm out of here.
And I really got... Oh shit. Ah, another street X. And I think I'll fare better. I'm not dealing with a super event. It's always gotta be the Civic that hates me the most. And it's gonna cost me the win. What could I be doing wrong? This game. I think I was supposed to do the Oracle events to get more performance points. I don't know. All I know is that I can't keep up with these two. I can hardly even catch up. Damn cheesy Civic. Extra options mod for this game brings back older cars plus PAL version cars. Try to play this game, but no. For the most part, it is interesting to see through to these mods. But sometimes you just gotta take what you're given. Also, I know what some of you are probably thinking. These are the weirdest mirrors you could ever see inside of a Need for Speed game. And probably wondering why I decided to put them on the Focus. I'm just dumb enough to think that I want to put that. I'm just dumb enough to think that's a good idea to add these mirrors. Buffoonery. What is this fucking Corolla? He's catching up to me. Well, at least the Honda Civic didn't try to cut me off. That being said, across the line. Maybe one of the URL races. Wish you could actually drive in the circuit tracks inside the game. Like, you could drive into them, you could drive outside of them. That kind of stuff. That's what I wish you can do inside this game. Is a Ford. Okay. Reminds me of Ford Racing, except Ford Racing, you don't really get a chance, you don't get very much opportunities to do very much with the Fords except change paint jobs. But you gotta understand that while playing this game, I mean Ford Racing 3, that you're not only just driving the Ford cars that are actual legitimate road cars that are legal, but also given the chance to drive some concept cars, even the race cars in there. But in all honesty, when it comes to concept cars, the thing you have to understand is that it doesn't really matter which racing game you play. It's extremely rare to find a concept car inside of a racing game. Or it's just me that doesn't know the concept cars, or it's just me. I mean, like, I feel like concept cars are just hard to stumble upon while playing a racing game. One of the fewest concept cars I find interesting for the time being back then was playing a game called Supercar Street Challenge, and the one concept car I find interesting the most was the 1999 Pontiac GTO. Like, that is one of the most interesting vehicles I find so far, because of how it looks. It looks like it's meant to be sporty, in a sense. Let's see, new vehicle on the lot.
Hey, have a good look around and let the beauty sink in. Pick out our new ride right here.
Oh wow, we got some fucking SUVs. My favorite is from second or third Need for Speed games. Chevrolet Camaro Cons. Oh, that's like the older one. Hold on. Actually, I'm not gonna search that up right now. Albeit, I'm just gonna leave the dealer. There's not very much good options to choose from vehicles right now. All they're giving me as a presentation is just some god-forsaken SUVs. Well, I mean, I'm gonna need an SUV at one point because there's gonna be some SUV races. Let's just hope it doesn't give me the option to trade in a car for that. Let's see, we got an Escalade and a Navigator. Kinda want this Escalade because it does good on handling, despite the fact that in general it's just heavy and realistically slow. And my phone's low on battery, so I need to put it on the charger. Never mind the fact that I just crashed. But as soon as I get to the garage to see if my Focus is still in there. This seems a little bit far-fetched, but I just feel like in my mind that if it came to the Cadillac Escalade, it also exists in Midnight Club 3. Like, it's drivable in Midnight Club 3, and sometimes I would think, did EA and Rockstar Games share the same Cadillac Escalade model? Oh, okay, there's my car. I need to change into the Escalade and then go straight forward and modify it because it needs some of that performance, some of that kick before we start actually doing some events. Although SUVs are an interesting addition to this game, I question why. Because they're heavy, they're slow, and they might not handle very well that much at some certain point. Already going past where I need to go. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted was to go where I need to go. And that's right here. That's this performance shot. And not at some bloody photo shoot with the most slowest set of vehicles. I think the reason why they add this is to add something unique and interesting. Yeah, I guess that just sounds about right. If they're trying to add something interesting and unusual, then I guess I can't argue about that. Holy crap. It says it goes up to all of that speed, but yet it's still so... I mean, come on, it's a stinking SUV. Oh, I forgot I could do not nitrous. Right now, I'm gonna take this little bit that I have, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this on Be Right Back, and then go get my... microphone disconnected. I was about to say that I need to go feed the cats and then probably just get myself a bowl of cereal. Well, with that being said, I'll be right back. Whoops. Alright. Time to get back to business. Hmm. This is gonna most likely go by badly because I'm driving an SUV that's most likely slower than the Hummers. Hummer would be slower. Yeah, but at this rate, they're trying to catch up. What the hell was that? I just saw a Hummer go flying into that barrier. Okay, this game's logic is weird. That's not something I would normally see every day while playing a video game. It's like trying to deal with a glitch inside of GTA 4 where I was bouncing the bike, doing wheelie, and then I end up dying for no apparent reason. Nice. 4 delivers some good funny moments. Yeah, especially if they're unintentional. Not much I'll say. If it's unintentional, then that's a different story. I mean, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Drifting Cadillacs. Oh? It'll probably be a lot more hard to do that inside of this game, if anything. Escalade. Ragdolls, NPCs flying out of the windshield of the car and then dies or not. The moment you get out. You know what's really, actually, come to think of it, I was playing GTA 4 yesterday, but I wasn't really streaming it. I was playing alone, and I was doing some assassination missions. One of the few moments I happened to got the cops on me while playing through the game, one of them fell off from the freeway and ended up exploding on its roof. And I was like, what the fuck? Do they normally do that? It actually confused me.
Is for suckers. To rule the nitrous is extra power stuffed into a tank, ready to explode when you need more speed. suspension puts control. Hey, tighten your gearbox. Upgrade the brains of your ride by swap. Horsepower equals speed. So bolt on everything you can. Right here is the place to do it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to progress through to get those upgrades. Daily dose of GTA 4. Yes. The daily dose of GTA 4. AI doing weird, random shit. Because GTA logic does not make any sense and never will make sense. Nice. Getting circuit race. But it's funny another way. Yep. Oh, almost got clipped. Well, that was a nice feint or something like that. Oh crap. And across the line. Come on. Hmm. There we go. Now I'm back. Cats causing interference, as usual. What the hell is that? Damn it. about you, but I feel like ending the stream right now. Uh, with that being said, thank you for watching the stream. If you enjoy it, then feel free to leave a like and feel free to comment and subscribe if you're new to this channel. But with that being said, I am off.